comic who makes fun of standing up. I would introduce myself as the Pope's first miracle. I went to see him with a speech impediment, and he cured me. And then I would do impersonations of famous celebrities, but how they'd walk on crutches. Do you want to see it? You got to, you could participate with me. Okay? I'd like to do some impersonations. Everybody, and I know some of the people have seen this yesterday, but I usually do Lassie, but I'll do Rin Tin Tin. Okay, a Chinese ping pong ball here. The Pope. If Pope Benedict was on crutches, how would the Pope walk? The late and great John Wayne, how would he go into that saloon? He'd give you one of these. And Dean Martin. Dean Martin was known to imbibe a little too much, right? So this is my impersonation of Dean Martin. And the last one I'll do is a little political one. This is, he was the Vice President of the United States, and then he ran for the presidency, and supposedly he lost. But anyway, I won't get into that. This is my impersonation of former Vice President Al Gore. Maybe that's why he lost. So even though the industry said no to me, I did not listen. And a lot of times, in a way, they were helping me by saying no to me, because they made me better. They made me better. I always say you got to look at a negative in a positive. It's like I would always love it when somebody said to me, "You can't do that. That would just, oh, I'm going to show you." I would do that. So you need to keep positive. You need to believe in yourself. Not that I was like this all the time. I mean, there's a lot of work, as you can attest from all our speakers. They didn't become so lovable and humorous and well-adjusted. We're still not. Right. So it took a lot of work. But again, it's like you want something, and it's right there. A lot of people say, well, how is God in your life? How's God in your life? I mean, do you ask Him for anything? I don't ask God for anything. I thank Him. I thank God. I enjoy my life. And there's so much more I am going to do. So I thank God. I lost a little train of thought, but that's okay. What? Oh, that's right. Now, I'm also, some of the accomplishments that I've achieved, I've appeared in over a dozen television shows, from Hill Street Blues to T.J. Hooker, Aftermath, Knots Landing, WIOU, Jake and the Fat Man, Hunter, recently on Becker, played a clown on Kids Incorporated, and I was on Divorce Court. People say, you were on Divorce Court? I thought it was real. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I've never seen anybody divorced in 27 minutes. Also, I was married. I'd like to, be a little I was married and divorced because I wanted to be like everybody else. And somebody's applauding. And I remember before I got married, my wife's mother said to her, "Oh, what are you going to do in bed with Henry?" You know, that hurt. I mean, to be judged sexless because you have a disability. So now I jokingly say, before I get married again, I'm taking the mother out first. Any mothers in the audience? Okay. Now, you know, everybody here has to be an activist for themselves. You have to, you know, you have to promote yourself. You want something, you have to do it. In 1979, there was never anybody in a commercial with a disability. Never. Never saw anybody in 1979. So I did a letter writing campaign. I said, why aren't there you know, people with disabilities in your commercials? And McDonald's said they'd be taking unfair advantage if they used people with disabilities. Since then, they've changed their mind, and we've seen commercials that have people with disabilities. The Friendly Skies people of United said we have only 27 seconds to deliver a message that is vital to our marketing success. Given that time frame, using people with disabilities would be an intrusion that could not be explained. An intrusion that could not be explained. Isn't that terrible? Right? But society says if you're given lemons, what do? Make lemonade. So during this time, I was working with a writer from Saturday Night Live, and this is what we did with the intrusion that could not be explained. Do, 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 do. More terrifying than Jaws 3D. Do, 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 do. More horrible than Halloween Part 15. Paramount Pictures presents The Intrusion That Could Not Be Explained, starring Henry Holden as the intrusion. A vengeful cripple bullies his way into an airlines commercial. What happens next is sheer horror. Honey, quick! Come here! There's a guy who punches at an airlines commercial! Oh my God! What is he doing there? Maybe if you fly the Friendly Skies people, they'll think you catch polio! Honey, quick, shut the TV off. I can't take it. The intrusion that could not be explained. Coming soon. So you got to look at those nuggets. Those nuggets. That was a nugget. The intrusion that cannot be explained. So anything that's negative that comes at you, you make it into a positive. In Napoleon Hill's book, you only can listen, you only have one, you could think one thing, either positive or negative. You got to think positive. You got to think positive. You have to love yourself. Really. You have to love yourself. You look in the mirror, besides doing this, you owe me $10 there, Fred, for doing that. You do this. No, seriously, because you're not good to anybody else unless you love yourself, unless you feel good about yourself. Want to wind down a little. Some of the other accomplishments that I've done, I was the Master of Ceremonies for the Miss Wheelchair America pageant. Last year, I had my first speaking engagement at a commencement at a college in Virginia, actually, Shenandoah College. The American Federation of Television, actually the American Federation of Television and Radio. We received the first annual American Scene Award for a rock video that I did called I Got News for You. The American Federation of Teachers awarded me a proclamation for my work in acting. I was the keynote speaker for AmeriCorps in Oregon. And there's been many, many more things. And this July 11th, opening in New York at Spoon Theater at 38 West 38th Street. I will be starring as Richard III. Shakespeare's Richard III. So you see, by society trying to be negative, look what they've created. They've created this monster, Richard III. But anyway, I'd like to cut it short because we don't want to go over that much, and we have an enormous, great speaker, a person that I've traveled, actually all the speakers have traveled to Malaysia. What makes us fabulous is that we, each and every one of us, are givers. We're not takers, we're givers. You can't be part of the Napoleon Hill organization if you're just a taker. Just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.